All right, so we got a lot to talk about. There is a live action How to Train Your Dragon film coming out, slated for 2025, and there's been a little bit of backlash from some of the casting. So here's what we've got from the Hollywood Reporter. It says How to Train Your Dragon live action remake finds its Hiccup and Astrid. Those are characters. Universal's live action adaptation of DreamWorks Animation's How to Train Your Dragon has found its human writers. Mason Thames, who stars in Universal's horror flick The Black Phone, which is a great horror film. It's amazing. Make sure you check it out. And Nico Parker, the rising actress who was last seen in HBO's The Last of Us. Amazing show. Every episode, 10 episodes, all incredible. She's mainly featured in the first episode. She's Joel's daughter, Sarah, and wow, she did an incredible job in the role. They are set to star as Hiccup and Astrid in the feature being directed by Dean DeBlois. So yeah, that is coming out and people are talking about it. I feel like we're in a time where we're getting all these, remakes of classics that we grew up with. And I think a lot of people are saying, we don't want these, but yet we keep paying for them at the theater, and that's why they keep making them. So if enough people just stopped going to see these, they would probably stop making them. That said, there's been a lot of controversy around Nico Parker specifically being cast in the role of a Scandinavian fictional character in this world of How to Train Your Dragon. So I want to talk about Nico Parker for a second. She is incredible. She's an incredible actress. She got a lot of backlash for The Last of Us, for playing Joel's daughter, Sarah. And it's one of my favorite video games. In the video game, Joel's daughter is white. Joel's white in the video game. And his daughter is played by Nico Parker in the HBO Last of Us show. She did a great job. It didn't take me out of it in any way. It just was, hey, this is a different version of the story that they're telling, and it's not a big deal. But she received quite a bit of backlash in the similar way that Halle Bailey has and still does for her role in The Little Mermaid. And even just talking about this stirs up so much controversy on both sides, and that's what I wanted to talk about. It's the fact that nobody's listening to each other anymore. Both sides are kind of just yelling at the other side. And you have this spectrum that's, saying everything in Hollywood is woke and there's an agenda, all the way to the other side of the spectrum, which is saying everybody who believes that is entirely racist. So you've got both sides, and it doesn't allow for any conversation or any nuanced conversation at the very least. So what you end up with is someone saying, I didn't really love The Little Mermaid. You didn't love The Little Mermaid? Racist! And then you have the other side saying, hey, we're thinking about casting this person who's biracial in this role. How dare you? That's not my Ariel. It's just so ridiculous on both sides of the coin. But yeah, I did find a nuanced take from someone, and I thought I would give it a read. It says, whilst I like the actress, he's talking about Nico Parker, whilst I like the actress and I'm glad she's breaking out as an actor, this is not the role for her. I feel like the How to Train Your Dragon universe is very Viking in its themes, and that would best be replicated by hiring Scandinavian actors, or at the very least Germanic actors. Having a woman of color take the role feels very culturally appropriate to me. It's a made-up character, yes, but a made-up character that's likely important to many people who love the franchise. There's possibly girls who really identified with the character who will now not. Again, I like the actress, but this really should have gone to an actress from the region that is inspired by the culture seen in How to Train Your Dragon. This just doesn't feel okay. So I understand where the commenter is coming from. I think the problem that happens is that the other side will say, no, that's wrong. That's a terrible take. Shut the fuck up. And it just stops the conversation. No one can say, hey, have you thought about the fact that maybe they were just trying to get the best actor or actress for the role, and that this is a fictitious world in which dragons are flying around, so maybe they weren't as concerned about what color the people were, but more so getting the perfect fit for the role. I understand people getting upset about the characters that they know and love being changed in a very specific way, but I would love for people to get to a place to where they can just be more open to the idea of a different actor playing a different role. I guess in lieu of that, one thing I want to point out is this seems to really only happen to young female Black or biracial actresses. So you've got Halle Bailey, you've got Nico Parker, and this has happened to both of them. You take someone like Idris Elba, who played Heimdall in the Thor films, who is Black, and he's playing someone in a Nordic culture, in Norse mythology. And I didn't hear any rumblings of grumpiness or race swapping or any of that with that casting, nor should there be. It's so ridiculous. It's just, he's a great actor and they put him in that role. There also seems to be an online community on both sides again, who, if they don't like what something's doing, they will either actively root for the films to fail or review bomb the films when they come out, which just feels really childish and kind of devalues humans, life, and art in general. I feel like if any of us are film fans, why would we be rooting for a project to fail? If you watch something and it comes out and you don't like it, that's fine. You can talk about why you don't like it based on the merits. But when people write things off before they've even come out based on a casting decision, it's so bizarre. It happened when Henry Cavill was announced as Superman. It happened when Daniel Craig was announced as James Bond. We do this all the time, and then the movies come out and they often prove people wrong. I would love for us to have a little optimism and just be more excited about things that are coming out and trusting that, you know, maybe there's no agenda at play. It's just people trying to create art and create things that they love and are passionate about. So what can we do about this? I'm not really sure, but I would suggest not engaging with either side that is just kind of throwing out things that end the conversation. So there are people out there who have nuanced takes, and you can engage with those people and just say, hey, like, you know, I respect what you're saying, but also, have you thought about this? But so quickly things just devolve. The here we goes and the eye rolls and the, oh boy, here come the racists again, here come the woke mob again. It's exhausting. So let's all as film fans try to do a little bit better. With that said, I'm Andrew May. This is Lonely Guy Loves Movies. And if you want to check out the top 10 reasons you should be excited about the Barbie movie, click here and I will catch you in the next one.